Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Shia Ahmed Samrat. My ID is 192110007. My presentation topic is possibility of using Incoterms clauses in a country's logistic performance assessment and benchmarking. Here is my table of content. I am covering all these chapters: introduction, background, problem statement and hypothesis, methodology, findings and discussion, and conclusion. At first, introduction. The need for sustainable national freight and transport facilitation has prompted the exploration of indicators to assess logistic performance. While various international organizations offer benchmarking like Logistic Performance Index, Global Competitive Index, and connectivity metrics widely accepted and local control indicators remains challenging. This research probes the feasibility of using Incoterm clauses present in international sales contract to measure the benchmark logistics performance at a national level. Incoterm clauses allocate responsibilities, risk, and cost in international delivery, covering various logistic activities. Despite their pivotal role, scant literature exists on their correlation with logistic performance. The study empirically examines a year-long database of Serbia's international trade, correlating selected logistic performance indicators with delivery clauses. Findings demonstrate a significant impact of country's logistic performance index on Incoterms scores, suggesting potential policy implications. The paper's structure encompasses an overview of Incoterm clauses, factors influencing their selection, the research framework, methodology, and main result. The study suggested employing Incoterm clauses as novel indicators to evaluate and compare a country's logistic performance in international trade using consideration at national and international policy level. In background study, international trade evaluation has laid a integrated supply chain demanding precise delivery delineations. Incoterms clauses in from origin to destination, impacting cost, risk, and logistic nodes. Scarcely explored in research, these clauses enhance negotiation efficiency, reduce misunderstanding, and lower legal risk for both buyers and sellers. Incoterms proper allocation aid in cost reduction and competitive advantages. Crucial for logistic operations, these clauses might serve as indicators for national freight transport system performance, potentially establishing a global benchmark for transport and logistic efficiency. In increasing complex global supply chain environment, factors like technology, regulations, and logistic performance versus cost ratio demand careful coordinations. Sellers' responsibility for complete delivery might be limited due to various international and external factors. The choice of Incoterms clauses influenced by goods characteristics, supply chain specifies market dynamics, and microeconomic factors impacts negotiation power, logistic capability, risk management, and national policy decisions. Often overlooked in literature despite their significant influences. The involving global trade shaped by globalization and technology demands efficient supply chain management. Incoterms rules allocate responsibilities in international contracts, detailing tasks from origin to destinations. Incoterms 2020 comprising 11 rules. Manage cost and risk. Despite underexplored in transport and logistics, these rules streamline negotiations, reduce risk, impact logistics network, and could serve as indicators for assessing national freight system. Here is our research question, or we can find three research questions from this paper. First is, which country characteristics including geographic, economic, transport, and logistic characteristics, and related to the level of logistic commitments and trading countries. Our second research question is, how do relevant transportation logistic characteristics impact sellers or buyers' logistic commitments? We can use Incoterms clause. And our third question is, how can we use Incoterm clauses for assessing and benchmarking transportation logistic performance? Here we get six hypotheses. This is our methodology part. The research methodology involves six steps outlined, starting with preparation and exploring score metrics, then assessing the relationship between Incoterm clauses and logistic performance index. At a country level, data from surveyor trade flows in 2016 obtained from the customer administration constitute the primary dataset. The depersonalized data encompasses Incoterm clauses, trade direction, countries involved, good weight values, and customs transaction. After filtering incomplete data, 148 countries were included in the final empirical dataset for imports and export. The study fills a gap in literature similar to Del Rosal's work in Spain by employing a quantitative approaches and microeconomic perspective, notably absent in previous Incoterms studies. Previously, Incoterm studies, additional data on logistic performance index, global competitive index, economic, social and economic indicators, GDP and distance between countries complement the analysis. The comprehensive approaches aims to explore the relationship between Incoterms clauses, logistic performance index, and various social, economics, and geographic indicators for trade partners. Here is our analysis and result. The initial analysis found significant correlation between logistic scores. The subsequent step investigated logistic relationship to Incoterms scores, showing a strong positive link between international logistic performance indicators and weight-based scores for imports and exports. Similar correlation with the logistic performance were observed supporting weight-based scores further for further we observed supporting weight-based scores for further analysis. Certain correlation between international supply chain and logistic performance indicators were obtained due to high correlation among them. The analysis examined relationship between Incoterms clauses, and the country's characteristics. Only GDP per capita and international logistic performance indicators showed significant correlation with Incoterms scores for import and exports. Surprisingly, distance between trading countries did not correlate, and most domestic logistic performance indicators had no significant association with Incoterms. Low economic development countries had notably lower Incoterms scores for exports. The final empirical analysis involved an economic model for Incoterms scores using predictors and distance. The model, akin to restricted gravity model, employed a log-log transformed equation. It indicates non-linear and non-monotonic relationship between predictors and scores. Results showed varying correlation based on scores breakpoints, Lower scores had a negative correlation with distance but a stronger positive correlation with logistic performance indicators, where higher scores exhibited a positive correlation with distance had a weaker non-significant correlation with logistic performance indicator. Here is our discussion and findings. The relationship between logistic performance index, the research finding highlight the significant impact of logistic performance index on sellers' international logistic commitment, particularly emphasizing the strong correlation with good weight. Notably, non-substantial correlation exists between Incoterms clauses and domestic performance indicators or overall transportation instruction indicators. The relationship between logistic performance and applied Incoterms clauses appears more pronounced in exports than imports, revealing a complex interplay between logistic performance indicator and logistic commitments, especially at higher country scores a varying distance. The study, limited by certain factors influencing Incoterms clauses selection, underscores the need for further research and considering diverse trade flow characteristics and factors like transport modes. Although based on Incoterms 2010, the research outcomes have broader policy implications, offering insights into assessing national logistic performance, trade facilitation, and potential benchmarking. The study advocates for Incoterms clauses as a valuable tools and assessing logistic resource utilization, identifying trade impediments, and forecasting multi-stakeholders decision-making freight transport policies. Despite limitations due to a data sensitivity, future research might leverage big data for more comprehensive analysis, aiding the development of freight transport models addressing international trade, ports, spatial and economic effects, and logistic intermodality, promoting innovations and collaboration in freight transport system. In conclusion, the study suggested that improving macro logistic performance positively influences international sales contacts and logistics resource for in freight flows. Incoterms scores can enhance assessing logistic performance, although not yet precise as standalone indicator. Further research and collaboration are needed to integrate Incoterms clauses effectively into monitoring system and national transport models, revealing untapped potential as an information source. Thank you for your question. Thank you everyone. Assalamu alaikum.